Everyone kept mistaking my husband for my father because he was 20 years older than me.
Sir, your daughter is George's. Can I have her number?
Sure, in 20 or 30 years, when she becomes a widow.
Such situations sometimes happen in 10 years of marriage, and it made me furious. So I took Roger to a clothing store. However, he flatly refused to even go inside.
I'm comfortable like this. Let's buy you a new dress.
It turned out to be easier to teach a dog how to meow than getting Roger out of his favorite sweatpants.
Honey, I care about very few things, and the opinion of others is somewhere at the end of that list.
That selfish behavior offended me. So, for our anniversary, I prepared a surprise for my beloved. I stopped wearing makeup and borrowed some clothes from my mom. When Roger saw how I planned on going to our favorite restaurant, he got worried.
Honey, is everything okay? We're going to a restaurant, not church.
Get used to it. If you don't want to get closer to my age, I will strive for yours. It worked immediately. Roger promised to buy himself some new clothes, but refused to take me shopping with him.
Go to the restaurant and ask the waiter to have a fire extinguisher ready, because you never seen me as hot before.
I quickly fixed myself up and kept looking at the entrance, waiting for my husband like Hachiko. Finally, the door opened and Roger walked in. Thank God I was sitting at that moment. His new look was so awful that it made me sick. Yet, my husband paid no attention to the contemptuous glances and calmly sat at my table.
Well, is this useful enough? No one will think you're my daughter now.
Yes. Now I look like a nurse in charge of an old man with dementia. I left my husband to celebrate our anniversary by himself and went home to pack my things. When Roger found me, he quickly realized that the jokes were over. I wanted to be alone and move in with my parents for a while.
Come on, honey. Stay. It's just ridiculous that someone takes me for your daddy.
You may find it funny, but have you thought about me? Roger didn't understand. When people learned that Roger was my husband, they looked at him with envy and respect. Why wouldn't they? He got a young beauty. However, they'd stare at me with contempt. People don't just think you're my daddy, but my sugar daddy.
That's nonsense. You earn more than me.
Exactly. Imagine how tired I am of this. When I arrived at my parents', they didn't even ask what happened. My mom started comforting me as soon as I entered the house. And Dad grumpily said that I could have changed my mind earlier.
Don't listen to him. He's just upset that he lost the bet.
As it turned out, my parents didn't initially approve of my marriage. So they bet on how many years it would take for us to divorce.
Dad believed it would happen in 5 years. But I knew that you needed time to realize that you are not suitable for each other.
This will disappoint you, but we're not getting divorced. That clearly put my parents in an awkward position. After all, they had already planned an accidental meeting with their friend's son, who coincidentally was single and, most importantly, young. I was in love with Roger, so the age difference didn't bother me. He used to take care of himself and could give any young handsome guy a run for their money. But when he turned 50, he stopped caring about himself. Now, I had to politely reject a new beau and think on how to fix my marriage. Yet, I didn't have time, because the one who saved our relationship was Roger. When he came in, I didn't even recognize him right away. It seemed that my husband had lost 10 years.
Please come home. I swear I'll do my best for you to get on the envious glances.
Roger kept his word. He started every day with a jog, followed by tennis and pool time. Shortly after, my husband got in shape, dyed his hair, and got a trendy haircut as the icing on the cake. That upgraded version of Roger really turned me on. But then I ran into a new problem. He was always tired because of all that exercising. Plus, the constant convulsions wouldn't even allow him to go up to our bedroom. I tried not to show that I was disappointed. But apparently, I was a bad actress. Because Roger noticed it. We literally started distancing ourselves from each other. He would sleep downstairs on the couch more and more often. One day, everything suddenly changed.
Do you mind if I join you?
I didn't know Roger when he was 20, but it was hard to imagine him being more active than he was at that moment. We didn't get out of bed for days, at least until Roger felt a terrible backache and lost consciousness. At the hospital, they didn't let me see my husband for a long time. And when the doctor finally showed up, I immediately read his face. Good news shouldn't be expected. It seemed that Roger started secretly taking strong painkillers to stay in shape and not upset me. They neutralized the pain, but the fatigue kept accumulating. In the end, it made itself known.
We'll do our best, but your husband isn't young anymore. If he continues like this, he risks having a heart attack.
For the next few weeks, I took care of Roger. Having received the rest he needed, he again became the prankster I once fell in love with. When my husband was discharged from the hospital, the taxi driver mistook us for father and daughter.
Ma'am, let me help your dad get into the car.
However, I didn't care, because I almost lost the only person whose opinion was important to me. Thanks. Just don't fasten his seatbelt, okay? I want to get my inheritance as soon as possible. Remember, love lives inside of us and does not require approving glances.